Me and the gay homie walking down the street.
Hey.
You are the gay and I am the me. Wait, no.
All right.
Here we go. Just the moseying down the block.
New profession.
I like vagina and he likes cock.
Hey! Oh, that's a banger.
All right. I mean, I know y'all see this extra face, and let me just go ahead and say who she is. Hi, Miranda.
Hi, world.
We're really happy for you to join us, Miranda. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yes. So, what are we talking about today, Joe?
All right. First of all, we're gonna talk about this picture right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So DeOtis forgot his Oprah picture, so I replaced it with a picture that meant a lot to me, that has been in my life for many years.
Yeah.
This is a picture with
Oprah.
me and one of my favorite football players, Brian Cox. He played for the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears, and I was just really happy this day to meet him. It was many years ago. I'm not going to tell you which year. I don't need you to be aging me and shit.
Joe getting up there.
But it was many moons ago. It was a Super Bowl in Atlanta. Do your research, find out what year this was. Headline news. They broke up, y'all.
Damn.
Cardi B and Offset, man.
Cardi B is like my favorite ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's all of us.
We combine.
We love Cardi.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we love Cardi B.
Wow.
Hey, I don't know what happened, man, because I know Offset didn't cheat.
He did though.
No, black men don't cheat.
Black men.
What does that
okay.
mean?
Black men don't cheat.
I
It's
don't
they're
know.
incapable of cheating.
I've heard that
Oh,
a
okay.
lot in the last month, but there's not really any evidence backing that up.
Where's the evidence to prove that black men cheat?
The little girl that was crying today. Offset said you won.
Nah, all right.
He is
So y'all,
ruining it. The
so
only honest people are Obama and Papoose.
so the girl that said Offset. So Cardi B actually was saying, "Where's my phone?" It was when she broke down them breaking up. She said they tried. You know, they have a child together. It just wasn't working. You know, it didn't sound like there's bad blood or anything. I haven't heard anything since. Like, I don't know if anything else pops off.
Sure.
But recently, Summer Bunny
Summer Bunny.
was crying on a video, and she was apologizing to Cardi for
That's because Cardi's crazy.
And she knows
okay.
Cardi
that.
gonna knock her head up.
Shit.
All right.
That's why she all this calm before the storm. It's okay.
But she said that
It's
she didn't.
alright.
I thought I read that she didn't cheat with him before they got married.
She a lie.
I mean, no, she didn't cheat with him after they got married.
Which is what point?
I don't.
We don't even know when they got married.
I don't. Yeah.
Do you think that Cardi is being more understanding because of culture?
Her
Oh
baby.
yeah. I think
The
she's
baby?
definitely matured, and it's more than just the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's grown up a lot in these past couple of years with this stardom
been
and everything.
forced to, of
It's like
course.
no reason for her to go too hard. Probably somebody told her like, look, man, just put this out there. Like,
She's a real chick though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of
And
growing
she's
up
going-
I've done
yeah.
over the
I
years,
know,
but I
but
don't know if I'm gonna
but
like
at the
just
same
take
time,
that
she was
L like
talking
that.
hella shit about
Right.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj
That
was like
funny shit.
could get it in every way.
Yeah, she's going through her
There
growing
was
pains,
receipts.
man.
So
Yes, I saw that. That was so entertaining. My
That
mouth was agape.
I watched all the receipts.
Oh my
All of
God.
them.
All
I
of
saved
them.
them just
I
in
did.
case.
Yeah, look.
YouTube put them all together for us.
I put out on my Instagram story. I was like, I feel so weak right now for watching all these fucking videos. Like, I watched every one of those many videos. I couldn't
Every single
believe
one.
I sat there, and I don't feel like I wasted my time. I
I was
enjoyed
caught
myself.
up, completely
I
caught
enjoyed
up.
myself.
Completely.
All of my questions were answered. I was
Yeah.
wondering.
So
Yeah.
homegirl cheated. She
Yeah.
lying, and now she crying because she knows Cardi done already called out the homies.
Yo,
Mm-hmm.
it was funny.
Things are
So,
gonna go down.
I don't know why she put a text out there though. She put a text out there between her and Offset was asking her, Summer Bunny, to get a threesome cracking with her and Cuban Doll.
Right.
Like,
So
I'm gonna
Cuban
be honest
Doll's
with you, I don't know
involved.
none of these motherfuckers.
I mean,
I feel like y'all would be interested.
y'all know who they are, I guess. I mean,
You
y'all
guys
done read
know who
all the
Cuban
stories.
Doll is.
Yeah, yeah.
Who is that? You know who she is? Tell us who Cuban Doll is.
You just go and look on Instagram.
Okay, your
Yeah,
ass
just
don't know
go
who
and
no
look on
motherfucking
Instagram.
Cuban Doll is either.
Yes, you're gonna see the same kind of girl that the bunny girl is.
Oh fuck! I forgot to bring this up. Hey, keep it aside. So, Tumblr. Look at your face. He's so heartbroken.
Listen, it's not even a joke. Like, Tumblr is getting rid of porn, y'all.
Hey, bring the mic a little
Tumblr
closer.
had
Tumblr.
to change its ways.
It's been like, okay, so not even to a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was dating somebody, and he's a writer, and he's like, yeah, I put a lot of my stuff up on Tumblr, and I'm like, you put a lot of your stuff up on, what you mean, like a porn site? And he's like, no, so I didn't know until a couple of weeks ago that it's primarily for blogging purposes. I thought it was primarily for porn, and it was my go-to, just my quick, Nick, just 2 minute, 3 minute. I was happy, but
hey, this funny thing is,
or you can have a whole story, you can have a whole production on Tumblr, and like, where are they going? Like, where are all those productions going? Are they going to go? I mean, I guess they was pulling from other porn sites, but it was concentrated.
I didn't go to Tumblr for porn.
No.
Why are they shutting down?
I don't know, but I do know this: the homie Big Rick. This is the only time I knew anything was going on with Tumblr and like porn. He would send me like the gifts and shit.
They have weird ass gifts and like
it was like I ain't gonna lie, I probably whacked to a couple of them.
Right.
I probably masturbated to a
right
couple
after your
of things,
homeboy
right?
sent it to you, he was like,
I was like, oh, okay. I was like, you dirty motherfucker. Hold on real quick. Let me look at that later. Saved.
I do wonder what made them come to that.
And I did
decision,
see an article like today, or it might have been yesterday or today, where their site was almost crashed because of the amount of people going on there trying to download, save the videos, save the pictures, all of that stuff. So you're like, really? Is it going to go to the dark web? Is it going to go? Where is all of that content going to go, and why? Why is Tumblr getting rid of the content?
Listen, there are plenty other places to get your porn.
But
I go on X videos. I go on Pornhub. Look, don't ask me what my search is.
Listen,
but it is.
When you go to Pornhub,
not use Joe's computer or keyboard.
When you go to Pornhub,
I use my phone.
porn,
I am not about to get no virus on my computer.
Why is it so convenient for a phone? Like nobody goes on. Anyway, look, when you go to Pornhub and you look up porn on there, like specifically the black porn, it's just not quality as much. Like it's harder to find the quality than Tumblr just have right there in your face. Like it was concentrated.
So Tumblr has better gay porn?
It did. For me, it does.
Does it have better black porn?
Yeah. Particularly black porn. Like that's what that's what I enjoyed about it. And I'm gonna be missing that.
I mean, I guess like I mean, I have to be real. I've never searched for like
gay porn.
Yeah, gay porn on.
Why not? I searched for straight porn. Why you on?
Well, you fucked a woman before too.
Well, also all I need is just the dick element to be there. So. But moving on.
See, I guess I would be missing out because that's the one element I don't really care for. No, you know what? Okay, I'm actually gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that is an element that's needed in it for me. Like, because I have to picture myself as that person.
Yeah,
I heard that before.
So
They can't
like,
just be walking through the dorm with the story.
Let me tell y'all about me and porn.
Do you like the story?
Yes.
See?
Listen, I have to have the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like the story is very important to me. I cannot. This is the funny. It takes me a long time to find the right porn video for me because if I click on it, I don't care how hot she is, whatever. If there's having sex like right away, like nope.
Have you always been that way, or you feel like you matured into wanting the story now?
My life has happened. Like, so my life has had stories that led to fucking.
So you want the UPS driver that knocks in the rain.
Wow.
So
she got to open up.
My life, some of the stories in my life have been like pornos. I'm like, yo, did that really just happen?
Right.
Did I really just get that?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
it's like, dude. So I can't, I gotta have a story. Like the story is so important to me. Like I don't know, it doesn't even like I love like the masseuse shit.
Yeah, like
finger slips in the hole.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, it's cracking. Like,
what about the librarian?
Librarian's cool.
lady.
I like the teacher shit.
Oh my God! Now I used to like that when I was in high school. They had my teacher.
Yeah, I'm like, who's the teacher?
No, they
No, I'm a student.
They had their website. Was it? It was like
Lord.
It was always a teacher and a student situation.
They do have websites like that.
I remember them.
Have you guys checked out any fetish sites? Like,
I
or
don't-
is it just
well,
to go there?
okay,
and
I
then
guess
you
a
can search
fetish-
fetish?
no, no,
I slipped
I guess-
upon some and slipped right back out.
But
I
this
was-
is, but
I was pretty
everything can be a
upset.
fetish. Like,
Well, yeah, but
like
you know,
milk
people
is
have,
a
like,
fetish.
Specific ones like feet,
Stepmom fetish.
Yeah.
The fist and shit.
breast
just,
milk.
Cream pies.
What is that?
Cream pie is when
Nope, I don't want to.
no, it's just nothing inside and
Move
let.
along.
Oh yeah.
No, it's just nothing inside and letting
The next person.
letting it come out, like letting it squeeze, like because
okay.
it's a cream pie. Yeah, I mean, ain't that? Look, I don't like real. Like I ain't the freakiest freak. I don't like all that shit. I really don't
Joe,
like
you
watching.
are a
Talk about it.
And I do
liar.
not like watching anal. I can't watch it
Okay.
because of my
what?
because
Okay.
of because of my
Okay.
like that's what I'm saying. I'm not like the freakiest freak. I don't want to see
Why
anal,
is that,
and I
why
don't.
does
and-
anal make you the freakiest freak?
No, because that means you're going further than just your normal vagina sex. That's why I'm not
That's
saying
what's normal,
No.
apparently.
I'm not saying. No, I'm saying. I'm just saying my normal
Right.
dick to vagina
Binary
sex.
sex positions.
Like, listen.
Just
So missionary,
No. I'm okay with different sex
rough
positions.
missionary.
I'm okay with different sex positions. I'm just saying, I don't look. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let's throw it in the asshole today,
Oh, okay.
because of my experience with that,
Oh.
which fucked up my.
traumatized
It
you.
traumatized me when I pulled out peanut butter.
see, she was wrong for that.
Yeah.
No, she knew what she was doing.
No,
Y'all
we
had
both
Jack in
we
the
both
Box
were
before
young
then.
and fucked up. We didn't know no better. It was just we
that's
fucked
so
so we were fucking so much. Like we didn't really go out. Like we were like
was like a weekend
like we
fucking.
met on MySpace. She knew a friend of mine or something. We met on MySpace.
Do you think MySpace became Craigslist personal ads?
No,
for a while?
I don't know.
Shit, did MySpace become Tumblr? 'Cause that used to be like-
I don't know. But, look, I don't.
But
You,
you
Anyways,
can
I'm
meet
sorry.
people on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Can you?
You can. Yeah.
you met somebody on Tumblr?
No.
Oh, okay.
But he
But
dated
the
somebody that
opportunity.
put his-
All right.
Yeah,
look, I
they,
met.
they message you. Yeah.
Listen, I
So-
met the girl on MySpace, and we met. We went on a date. Fucked that day. Became boyfriend and girlfriend like the next day, and just fucked for like 2 months.
What kind of date where you become boyfriend girlfriend the next day? What
I
kind of
don't
date
know.
Was it?
We just
Was it
look.
brunch with
It was probably one
unlimited
of my.
mimosas?
Listen, it was probably no. Look, I didn't even do that back then. That was a long time ago. There wasn't no bottomless mimosas back then. It was,
Right.
look, it was probably a beach. Look, my shit was always the same thing. It was
Arbor Mist.
no. It was dinner, drinks, beach.
Dinner, drink, beach, boyfriend, girlfriend next day.
No, I'm just saying, like, my shit was cute. Like, if I show you the beach, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
this shit is cute. And I know how to.
Ain't nothing to do but talk.
And
you
I
know.
already,
Right.
I'm gonna have a blanket.
watch this
I
show
always
every
had a blanket.
So you was fucking on the beach.
Nah, we were making out at the beach, and then it was like, okay, let's just go. And we went home and wanted to get it cracking.
Okay.
You know, I had to eat
It
the.
didn't kill the
I had
mood
to
on
eat
the
the.
drive home?
Nah,
Yeah, you
I
had to
went.
eat
I
the
had to eat
vagina.
that vagina
Yeah,
first.
the
You know, I had to
vagina.
go ahead and get it.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's the only
yeah.
reason
You know,
she's
you got to do what you
coming
got to do
back.
sometimes. And you know, only a couple times does that not work where I ate her out, and then she's like, "No," I'm like, "Huh?"
Some trash ass mouth.
Nah,
Trash
it
ass
wasn't
mouth.
that. It was that
God.
they were like, you know, sometimes they wasn't ready to get
You were
peened
eating
up.
cheese.
They wasn't ready to get peened up.
They weren't ready to get
And sometimes I was happy because I was like rocked the whole time, and if I had thrown it in there, I would have been like 30 seconds. All right,
Anyway,
Yeah.
wait, what were we talking about Cardi B? Wait, what were we talking about? Did we finish that?
Cardi B went to Tumblr. I
Tumblr,
don't
right?
remember.
We were. Okay.
Yo,
So Cardi B, that's sad.
Oh, we on
Tumblr,
yeah.
that's sad. And
it's like summary. This sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
Tumblr, fuck you.
Mercury retrograde. We're gonna need you to move along. Stop taking our shit with you.
thank you.
Is you ready to jig? Jig what? Hello. My hands up, high, my feet down low, and this way I jig a lot.
Shit.
All right. Okay, what are we talking about? Oh,
Cardi B.
Cardi B. Could you date a stripper?
I could date. Actually, you know what? How long ago was she a stripper?
Let's say she was a stripper 9 months ago. That means it's still in her blood.
Yeah, your life ain't different enough for me yet. Your life is not matured enough for me yet.
What reasons would you have to not want to date a stripper?
Because I'm like, okay, why did you want to strip?
What if she had like a game plan, like a business plan?
I mean,
How young is this motherfucker?
well, what if she was diamond? I mean,
Yeah.
All right, look. Honestly.
Look
all right,
at
all right. I got
30.
I okay, I can deal with it. Let me tell you what I would do though. All right, I really like you. Maybe falling in love with you. Let's move to South Carolina. Let me take you completely out. All right,
She gonna make some
am
money in
stripping
South
in South
Carolina
Carolina.
hard.
No. My point is, we're moving away from an area where they know her as the
Yeah.
stripper.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna live our lives outside of this. Nobody has to be like, oh man, there go motherfucking.
But have you seen some strippers like every day, day to day? They be looking busted as hell sometimes, cause not until they put on all the stuff.
No, but that's not what That's not the point. The point is, the homie here, the homie there, the homie there, or this dude here. They all got lap dances from this. So it's them looking at her.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not that mature. I'm not mature enough to deal with that kind of shit.
No, Joe.
I'm like,
I don't know if it has to be mature. I know
That's why you
my
like Tumblr.
my brother dated a stripper. Well, actually, not dated it. That his baby mama used to be a stripper, but she
that's more than
wasn't.
dated.
She wasn't before, and then she did it for like maybe I want to say over a year, about a year or so, and I remember just thinking like, oh, I know a stripper that does it, and then just knowing the dynamic of who she is, and then what she went to go do, and then it almost felt like pimpy vibes in a way, like in a sense where, of course, he wasn't forcing her to go do any of this shit, but it was just like,
how much money you make today?
yeah. And it wasn't. He wasn't asking. He was asking just to be like, really, that's how much y'all make it? Like, you know, it was
Yeah.
he wasn't spending her money or shit. It was just like he was intrigued, but it was just like, oh, okay. It was literally. It felt
Hey,
like a job.
Rolling. Could you date a stripper?
No.
Straight up, no.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna tell y'all,
Well, I don't want to tell you about my secret life, babe.
I'm gonna tell you, like, as I've gotten older, I have like kind of chilled on all the restrictions I had for like women I've dated. Like, if you'd asked me this years ago, I would say I would never date a stripper. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts, no stripper, nothing. I would be like, yo, I couldn't date a chick who was considered a hoe back in the day. At this age, I'm like, when was your hoe?
What was the
your
period?
Yeah, when was that going on?
What season?
And I'm like, oh, shit happens, man. Shit, sex is fun. I get it.
I get it.
Like, come on. Like, it's like, because you get to a point where you're like, we all fuck.
We all
like,
got different baggage that we
Right.
bring in. you
I
know.
ain't no better than this person just because you didn't fuck all these years and now you like, I spent so many years not getting dick. Like, and now you feel like you should have been. Because now you're like 38, 40 trying to fuck.
And you probably should have.
And
Yeah.
now you're going to get all these diseases from these young men.
Oh, please, Jesus, no.
No, but you could have been having your fun, but you were so worried about what was cracking, like what they were gonna say about you. Now it's like, yeah, we're older. I could date you now. You fucked such and such and such and such, but that was like years ago. Unless they got video on you, I'm like, I can't be having that pop up.
In the gay world, though, I don't know if I could date a stripper only because I feel like it's always so associated with like drug culture within like.
So you have a problem with that?
I think I would, but not enough to say no. Like just to be like, all right, but you know, and I also feel like I know a lot of people that fuck like men strippers, you know, like that.
So
like I feel like with women being strippers is not automatically associated with them being provocative a lot of times. But for men, I don't know. For gay men, they all seem to end up being hoes. But that's men. I don't know.
I thought, listen,
Like,
I was told that all you gay guys are hoes.
that's what I'm saying. Like maybe that's probably why. you know.
He said that's probably why.
Yeah.
We're all hoes.
Listen, all right. So as far as dating, like, what are your like, what's that word?
What, like criteria?
Yeah, not
List?
just criteria. Like
Restrictions?
What are your like? What can't you do? Like, what wouldn't you deal with?
Like, what do you
I-
mean? Give
Like,
us
all
an
right,
example.
like I can't date. Like, all right, if I said I wouldn't date a woman with kids, or I wouldn't
Okay.
date a woman that's been divorced, or
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, I'm not saying that's me. I'm just giving examples. Like,
I know.
maybe you said I wouldn't date a man that can't read.
Damn, I
I'm
probably
gonna need you to
wouldn't.
read out loud.
Be testing everybody.
Like, somebody said like Yo, if I date you, I'm gonna need you to read out loud. Yo,
I need you to read out.
listen, it's so funny when motherfuckers are impressed by your reading. Like I've read before. Somebody say, "Damn, you read good." I was like,
I read well.
I was like, I'm an
Because
adult.
it's a thing nowadays. I don't think people have the same, I don't know, love of education. The way
You didn't even have to love that shit.
education.
I didn't love that shit. I didn't love education. I just knew I had to read,
Have
and
you
I didn't
ever
want to.
dated somebody who texts you a full-on text that you had to read at least 3 to 4 times to understand what the hell they meant?
No, I've been lucky. Thank you, all the intelligent
I
women
have,
that I've
and
dated.
that is definitely like
It's a turn
no,
off, right?
just no. That shit turns me the off. Like I can't.
Yeah, you're right. It's there.
I
With
can't-
the
yes!
EI.
Ooh. And it's also like I can tell the difference between you typing fast and you literally not knowing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no,
like
there's a difference. Oh my god, there's a
I'm
difference.
like,
I mean, I hate when I fuck up. Like I'll sit.
I know,
I'll
I
sit
see
on
the
edits.
asterisk.
And I'm like,
With the asterisk.
Sure.
Fix it.
because I need you to know.
yeah, I need you to know.
Right.
I know that I fucked up.
I think also I can't live. I mean, I don't want to date anybody who just doesn't have some type of drive. Is what I realize. Is like if you don't have something that you're passionate about, then I don't have control of how much I'm not going to be interested in you. Like because I need you to have something going on as much as I do, so you won't be in my face all the time. You know.
I have a homeboy who said he didn't want to date somebody who was as ambitious as he was because then he felt like she wouldn't be able to support him the same way. So would you want to date somebody still on that level, or would you want to date someone that's more like you know you're just passionate about teaching, you're passionate about whatever your profession is, but it's not like this ambitious drive if you're over here ambitiously driving.
You know, and I can understand. No, I don't agree with that, but I can understand where he's coming from because I did date someone. The thing that was the most attractive to him was that he was just as driven as I was in his own lane. He studies like classical music and stuff like that, and
Dang, man.
we
You dating some real one.
yeah, and he's an amazing guy, and I realized
Fucked
like
him to Mozart and shit.
yeah, he recently just moved to London
Fucked
actually,
him
so
to
school out there now.
Tchaikovsky
But,
and shit.
Yeah, no, he was like my first love, and he's probably actually listening. But the thing that
What's up, bro?
Right.
that broke us up was our passions because it was like first we were young, but I couldn't knock him for being as devoted to his shit because I wanted him to make me more of a priority.
Right.
You know, and at the same time, it was
Thirsty,
like we had to be older, like mature enough to realize like this just isn't fair for both of us right now. you
Yeah.
know? So
I remember I used to say I couldn't date a girl who didn't have a daddy.
There's a lot of guys out there.
Yeah.
That want.
No, listen.
That is
I
really interesting.
Listen, it's
Yeah.
every woman is not the same, so I don't feel that same way now. But I'm just trying to be PC. Relax. No, but seriously, I know you're not all the same, so I'm not gonna say that I would never. But I did I did feel that way because every girl I dated that didn't have a father in her life, it wasn't the same. It wasn't. They weren't mentally, I guess, prepared for the relationship. They weren't really. Damn. what's the word?
man, that is so intriguing. I wish those girls can go and
They didn't know how to treat.
see
They didn't know how to treat a
to
mate.
understand what they're missing. You know what I mean? Like wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. I really, there's more to say about that, but I can't think of it, and I don't want to say nothing stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best not to say nothing stupid.
It was this guy that I'm dating who had he has a 2-parent home, and when he found out that I didn't, he was like very sad for me, and I've run into that a couple of times, and that was a surprise to me because I was like, I don't know what I was missing, but it just kind of reiterate that I'm missing something that really is crucial because these people can't even imagine their lives without their dads, you know.
Right.
But yeah.
Have you ever consciously seen it affect your dating relationships? Because you were raised by your mom or your dad?
I was raised by my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Actually, I guess I'm about to know. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know what I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what I don't know, and what I have seen with guys who have been raised by their fathers, though, is that they just seem to be very. They can just be like very decisive. Like they can make these decisions faster than I can, I guess. Or, or I have to be more conscious about being more or less indecisive. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. That's something small. I don't know. That's a good question. So what
I had my daddy.
What's the worst date you ever had, Joe?
I had my dad too. He crazy.
Worst date. Yo, oh my God. This girl I met on, was it Bumble? Yo, this motherfucker was crazy. She was just talking, like, every conversation we just couldn't, we argued on every fucking subject. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what it was. We started talking about black-owned businesses. She was basically saying black people are stupid.
No.
She was black.
She knew you.
She didn't know me like that.
She did not know you. Mm-mm.
Man, and look, after us, we going back and forth on every fucking issue, like everything. And I'm like, she's so ignorant. She was so ignorant. And guess what? My ass is still like, let's go eat. And we went to go eat. And I don't know why I went to go eat with this girl. She had so much fucking makeup on, man. She was not looking cute, but she did have a big ass. And I was like, man, this is a big ass. And I like forgot that she wasn't looking cute.
Right.
Until the homie like saw me at the restaurant.
And was like,
Big Cheese saw me.
oh no.
It was like the third time. It was like the third time he caught me at this restaurant. I was like, why are you always here?
I caught Cheese on a date at a restaurant.
I know, you told me about that. Like, he caught me like, I'm like trying to make sure nobody saw me. I had my back to like where I was sitting. You couldn't see my face. He walked straight up. He's like, nah, he didn't walk up to us. He texted me or something. And he's like, I see you. She weak. I was like, yeah, she is. Whatever.
Like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yo, let me tell you when my stupid ass, we go back and we're still arguing about everything. And I still tried to fuck. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. And this wasn't even like, this is like years ago, but it still wasn't long enough ago where it makes sense. It may not be about, it may have been Tinder. I think it was Tinder. Mm-hmm. But.
And you swiped on her?
She look good on the pictures.
She good on the picture. Full face full of makeup, right. I'm sure, right?
Dude. But yeah, that was the, like, because honestly, right. I could be, like, honestly, y'all, look, I usually have really good dates. Like, even if we don't go further than that date, we had a good date. You had a good time. We may not have been compatible, but usually the date was good because I am a good dater.
Mm-hmm. Charisma.
JoeDates.net. Go on it. You'll see my shit. I'm a good date. I know what I'm doing.
Anyways,
because I don't want to be dating. So. Yeah, it was just sucked. She was whack, and I was still an idiot for trying to fuck after. And we got to an argument when I was trying to fuck. She did something. She's like, can you go get me some water or something like that? I was like, yo, man, what the fuck? Who are you talking to like this? I'm out. No. I was like, man, I just grabbed my shit. I was like, yo, you don't know how to talk to people.
Out
and I couldn't get out the building and shit.
You couldn't even storm out properly.
Because the elevator, you have to have a key to get out the motherfucker. I was like, fuck, am I going to have to knock on this bitch's door to get out of here? Yeah, so I knocked on the neighbor's door who I met earlier with her. I was like, yo, I got to get out of here, man. They're not answering the door. I just lied. Like, they're not answering.
Oh, no.
They was like, I got you. I was like, dude. So, Miranda.
Okay.
Worst date.
My husband is in the studio right now with us, you guys. So, babe, forgive me.
Damn, my house is called the studio.
Right. My worst date was this guy, my best friend's boyfriend at the time, introduced me to him.
I thought you were about to say you were dating your best friend.
No, ew. He and I had a conversation. This conversation was bomb. Like one of those conversations that go on for like hours and hours and hours on the phone. Like we were just talking.
How old were you?
Probably 28. Yeah, probably 28, maybe 28, 29. And finally I was like, okay, why don't we meet up for coffee? Oh my God. And so I was like, he was like, okay, cool. So we went to Starbucks up in Ladera. And I'll never forget, I called Tiffany right before I got out the car and I was like, look, you got a hot 30 minutes. Call me, it's an emergency. I'll tell you whether or not I'm leaving. She was like, all right, cool. Get out the car, we sit down. We start talking. This had to be a completely different dude.
Oh.
Completely different dude. Because he was whack. Completely whack. He couldn't have no conversation.
His
personality was dead as hell. And I said, so where did you go to college? I don't remember where the hell he went to college. And I had told him I'm mixed, whatever. He said, out of nowhere, I was in a club in college, I Hate White People club. And I was like...
Out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere. And then my phone rings and I answer. And of course it's Tiffany. And she's like, what's that? I said, oh, really? Okay. I'm on my way. And I left. And when I got home, I told her, of course, I told her on the phone. Then I told her boyfriend at the time. And he was like, what the fuck, Miranda? No, that can't. You said it was. I said, man, I don't know who the hell you set me up or who was on that phone, but it wasn't old boy that showed up.
Hey, yo, the funniest shit is the way you got out of that. I did that before with your homeboy. I told him to call. I was like, bro, call me because I got to get out of this situation. I was like, call me and tell me like something's going on. Act like be loud and like I got to get the fuck up out of here. I was at my house and the girl was like really trying to kick it. She wanted to take me out to dinner and we just fucked. I was like, I really want her to leave. I'm sorry. I was like, I really want her to get the fuck up out of here. And
no snacks.
I'm like, yo, I text him like, yo, call me, act like it's crazy. And he called, I was like, what? Oh shit. Yo, I'm gonna get it right now. I went and grabbed my gun and shit and a bag and acting like I had to do some real shit. It was so extra. It was so extra. I grabbed a gym bag, had my gun and all this shit.
She was like, oh my God, you're a gangster. I love it.
And she was like, oh, what happened? She's like, you need me? I was like, nah, let me just roll and do this shit. I was like, I'm gonna call you when it's over. So she left. I left. I came back. I just went out and started watching TV. This bitch double backed on me.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up.
And she rang the doorbell. I started sliding down the couch. And just laid on the floor. And then I like crawled all the way to the living room.
I know you're in there, you motherfucker.
I crawled all the way to the living room and looked out the window. She was finally gone. And then I got so nervous, man.
She was coming.
I commend y'all commitment to spare these people feelings because I definitely told people this isn't working. I gotta go by.
Dude, I couldn't do that to her after just fucking and shit. Like it was a lot. Like I remember she had a banana peel and she was rubbing the banana dick.
Was that the first time somebody did that for you?
I was like, what? I was like, why are we doing this?
Well, that must be a thing.
I was like, why are we doing this? But so when I got to my car though, she had wrote a note and she was like, I know you in there, you bitch ass nigga.
She had her heat.
Yo, I don't know what else she said because when I saw a nigga and she was Mexican, I was like, this motherfucker just called me nigga. That's all I was like, oh, you ain't even black and you called me nigga? Oh, nah. And then I was like, look, man, I wasn't even there, but don't be calling me no nigga.
Oh, you did follow up.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up like a year and a half later. I ended up fucking again.
A year and a half, you ran into her.
I fucked her again. I saw her on like Facebook or some shit. No, it wasn't that girl.
I know.
She was black.
She was?
Yeah, she was black.
What about you? What's your perfect date? What would be your perfect date? Because we done had some terrible ones.
Foremost, I need conversation. I need someone that's gonna like stimulate and just show some type of version of maturity where I can be like, oh, I can grow with this. And I don't know, like everybody, I'm not trying to go on a date and always thinking of like marriage material, but I think a piece of me is always thinking of something that's like foregoing or a future. So like, no, like I went on a date with somebody who had like a bunch of, I guess, illnesses, and I was just like, or just had been through things, and I instantly thought of like, how long are you gonna live? Like I need somebody that's gonna be here.
Like you're not even gonna be here in 10 years. I can't fucking
are gonna kill you.
Or and
okay, but step by step, like perfect date. Like, I mean, what do you? Like, I don't know. This to me, I have a vision of like where I am on this date.
Yeah,
because I love water.
You
It
can't
is
say
the beach. It is the beach, but it's the type of beach.
Okay.
The beach
all right.
changes up. It ain't Hermosa. It ain't Redondo. All right, but it is
That's your
like
20-year-old beach.
yeah, it ain't Marina Del Rey. It was like goddamn.
Lake Taganaw.
That shit was a I use Marina Del Rey beach like it was a motel room.
Okay.
That's
I
why
mean,
they call
hey.
it Mother's Beach. You probably got some people pregnant out there.
They ain't called me.
A perfect date though, I think it do need to start off with like I've never like been picked up. You know what I mean? Like I usually am the one doing the picking up or
You never do
we're
with
meeting
nobody with no
there.
car.
Do you feel
Or-
like creeped out? You're
Yo,
dating
that's what's
people with no
happening.
car?
No, am I? No, they had
Oh my
cars.
God.
They just
They could at least Uber to you and like jump in the car. Like, hey, I'm down here in the Uber. Come through.
maybe they didn't have cars.
Maybe you're
Maybe they didn't have
maybe you're
cars.
like daddy to them. So they be like, yo,
Oh, you know what? Now that you bring that up, I think that is I don't know. Are we playing gender roles? Like, why am I always
Is gender
picking
role
niggas up?
always a thing with you though? Is that always a thing in your relationships? Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's nice to say that we all don't like gay men don't want those roles, but we put them on. We put those roles, and I hate the boxes. I hate the roles, but this is the game we're playing.
Because
you know?
sometimes you want to be like the more like I guess the man in the relationship, and other times you want to be treated like
the thing is,
I don't know what to
that-
say without saying to the people.
I know.
without
That's why I
offending.
tried to stop you, but
Right.
Because
don't do it, Joe.
I was about to say treated like a princess.
well, I
Look,
mean,
man,
th-
I didn't know how else to say the shit.
I guess yes. Sometimes I would, but very, very rare would that happen. Just because I have a dominating presence, or you know, so it's gonna take I don't know, man to do that. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, that's too much. You know, like I don't know. Like sometimes it's hard to find the right balance for me.
Do you take on the hunter role? Because I feel like
I
men
do.
are hunters.
I
Like,
do,
you know,
because
so it's like, "Ugh."
I hate misunderstandings and gray areas, and so I'm always like, I'm attracted to this person. I'm not gonna wait because they're not gonna have the
Confidence.
courage or the confidence to say something to me first. So, and that does I am frustrated with that, but
So if you could be spoiled for a day,
yeah.
Yo, my finger just
So
got
somebody will
stuck in
come
this
and
shit.
pick me up. Your fat finger ass.
God damn, that hurt like a
out of
motherfucker.
nowhere.
He used to have the whole episode with his
Your
fucking
finger
finger in the mic.
My finger stuck.
You over there panicking like, shit.
I used to get
oh
a
no.
penny stuck between my teeth back when I was a little kid. Like in the bottom of my teeth, I had a little gap. I used to put a penny right there. Just get stuck.
Just a little gap. Okay, tell us.
Sound like that would just feel
Yeah.
really. Anyway, I guess my perfect day, it would be nice for me to get picked up.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to get picked up and not in a hoopty, you know.
Right.
And I want to go. We can go eat somewhere, but most
You
of
want
all,
him to have planned the date?
I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
I
There we go.
love
Yes.
surprises, and it's very rare that ever happens in life. Period. So, yes, I think I want to be surprised, and I think what would take for me to be surprised is for it to be a spontaneous thing that's not normal. So dinner is normal, things like that. So
So something outside of the box, like something you like to do.
take me
or
to a
maybe-
trampoline park, like that'd be. But see, that's the thing. I will come up with that, like.
Don't take me to no motherfucking trampoline park. I'm trying to eat and drink and shit and look at cute shit.
Okay.
I'm not trying
Boring ass.
No.
Look, that shit takes a lot of energy. That could be another
Right.
day.
You
That
be
ain't my
all the
perfect
time.
day. Okay, I'm sorry.
We're
That's
over
it.
here trying to be
I'm sorry.
spoiled, so they're.
So enough about dates.
Let's get-
Let's talk about Joe's hairline.
Let's not. Actually,
Let's
all
talk
right.
about this hairline.
Actually,
versus this hairline.
all right. Let's quickly go over this.
Let's talk about do-rags.
Let's quickly
versus-
go over this because
Crush
let's talk about all the do rags in the picture. Shit always comes back around because now
Yes.
everybody's wearing the do rags. But we gotta quickly go over this because we gotta get to our guest, and I know we have spent a lot of time on some other shit. But hairline, look. So I've been looking at these videos. Like the homies, me and the homies were sending each other's DMs about this shit in our group, and this dude was like creating magic. Because this is not
amazing.
hairline restoration. This is actually like a weave that they were putting on these
Yes.
dudes. And I think it was in Atlanta. Like, dudes are getting whole new lives. Like they went from looking like your struggling uncle that ain't never gonna get no pussy again in his life to like your 26-year-old uncle took 20 years off his life.
It's amazing.
Did you see the comments on some of those videos? The girls, they're like, shit, number 3, whoever that was, you hooked up with the fade. My name is.
Hello.
I mean, yo,
They're going to have a man weave group on Facebook. Remember like the beard
Yo,
group?
but what if the women start tripping like, I ain't fucking with no dude with no hair weave?
Y'all
like,
say it.
Yeah. I do know somebody who's currently trying to break up with their girlfriend because he's tired of her lace fronts.
Dude, she should have never got a lace front. That you don't do lace front.
No.
Never, right?
No,
He
I
better
don't
with a
like
lace
lace
front,
fronts.
though. I don't know.
I don't like them, but weaves are not bad.
No.
Weaves and wigs
got one right
haven't
now,
been a
don't you?
thing. No. Stay away here, fucker.
It's true.
I didn't know it.
No.
Why it look okay?
Okay.
That looks good though.
Thank
Your
you.
weave look good.
Oh, yeah, so does yours.
I would get one. Look, my hairline
chin weave.
ain't like licked like that. Like, look, is my hairline perfect like it used to be? No. All right, it's probably gonna go away. Whatever. Hopefully, I'll be married by then. She'll just love me for me. But if it does happen, I would actually maybe not do the hair weave. I would probably do it if I had the chips to do it. But if I had the chips to do the hairline restoration, the 30 racks or whatever, go to Turkey or some shit. Like I would,
Get that Sherman Hanley skin.
yo, get
It's
my
really,
shit.
I mean, it's fascinating.
What'd you say? Look, I'll do that shit.
No.
Why?
Listen, just let it go.
Look,
Maturity.
Earlier,
men age.
this motherfucker said, "Don't do it because they using booty hair."
Of course.
That is what they're feeling in their hairline. It's the inside
I
booty
told her
hair.
like, she's saying the booty crack booty hair is the hair they putting
Listen,
on
it
there.
hasn't been exposed to the air. It's soft.
It's gotten
Oh.
exposed to shit.
There's a science.
It's gotten
There's a
exposed to
science to
shit
it.
though. Is that what's making it grow?
That's what's making it grow.
That's manure.
That makes it laid. It lays
They're
down
gonna start
easy.
replacing edges with
All
that.
right, I'm done with this shit. Let's get to the homie. She's here. I'm actually like give you the mic. and
Okay.
Actually, we gotta go back
Yeah,
and
let's
forth.
share
but,
it.
but like I brought you on because you always got a lot going on, and you're always so opinionated and interested. And just like we've had so much fun here,
Yes.
and you're a close friend of mine. You're one of my favorite writers, even though I didn't even read your book.
Right, I know.
I did buy it for my mama though. I bought it for myself too. Look.
Joe
I just
asked
didn't
me to
read
do
it.
Audible like 12 times.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
did.
God.
Just making it into audio?
Yo, look, Audible is amazing. You
It
can do
is,
so
I
much
agree.
shit.
I
But
agree.
yo, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from?
My name is Miranda. I am born and raised here in LA, right down the street. I am a West LA girl.
West.
3 times.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
I'm from LA.
Let's talk about your upbringing. Like, how many siblings?
I got 5
You got
sisters.
do you have a daddy?
I got a daddy. He's
Yay
awesome.
for daddies.
Her daddy is like super like black power
He
with a
is,
kufi
but, you
and a
know,
white wife.
and a white wife. Yeah, I was gonna say, just throw my mama
That's
up in there.
hilarious.
No, I had a really awesome, upbringing. I mean, my sisters are hella dope. You know, we run the streets together still to this day. All of them. I mean, they range from older to Jessica, and then and my mom and dad live here. My mom lives. We grew up between here and the Bay. And so we were exposed to 2 different, lives and lifestyles. And
Those definitely 2 different lives.
yeah, especially in the 90s and 80s or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just like a lover of art, a lover of writing, music, movies, art. It's all over my house, all of that. So
What got you leaning towards writing?
I have written since probably they gave me a pencil.
Yeah.
When I was young, I wrote a whole story about this too for a writing program that I was in. My mom used to tell me that I was lying all the time. And I think it was just a way a way that there's a thing that your parents don't understand when you're young, when you're trying to just fit into certain things, into your mind, into your imagination, just to understand them. writers create stories around them to deal with them. And I mean, I'm not saying my upbringing was perfect, so there were things that I fit and I crafted stories around to be able to deal with them. Yeah. And I've always been a love of mystery. Like Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite books. Like, you know, you just disappear, nigga. You know, like, somebody was looking for you. Then you just come back home after some little guy brings you back. That's kind of strange, right?
Yeah, well, y'all ain't gotta explain it too hard.
Exactly. Scooby-Doo was one of my favorites. It's taught you monsters are real life people. You know. So writing for me has always been a way to take this secretly dark side of mine outside of my brain and put it on paper.
Give it an outlet, you know.
I needed it.
When did you know you were good? Like, did somebody say, was there a person or people who made you feel like, oh, I should do more? Okay, this is not just something I just do because, you know, for the fun, or you know how people just read books just because they like reading books, or just writing because like you can go further with this.
Like further as far as where I'm at now?
No.
Or back then. In fourth grade, I had this teacher. I went to Carthay Elementary, and her name was Miss Morris. And she gave me like an opportunity to do like some extra credit work. I don't know why I needed extra credit work. I was actually really good in school. And I came up with this whole space story. And she was like, "This is good." And I drew out these things for it, and had a whole storyboard. And it was right before the Martin Luther King, what do you call it? They used to be assemblies. And she was like, "Well, Miranda, do you want to write like the Martin Luther King assembly?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." Then I went home, and my dad was like, "Don't be signing me up for shit."
Black power.
Exactly. And my dad had to create like the bus that Rosa Parks was on and all of this stuff, and I had scripts, and of course, you know.
Wait, he paints or
he draws. And it's weird. My dad has all these like super hidden talents that you would be like, what the hell? But anytime he needed one of us to come through, for one of us, he did. And so he was drawing on that big butcher paper. You remember that you ripped off the thing? The roll? Yeah. He's drawing stuff. So yeah. And I wrote these scripts, and it was my 6th grade. So that went off, and everybody was like, "Oh, this was great," you know, and I'm getting... And then me and my sisters would have plays, and they would all write scripts, and we would do it. And then 6th grade, at our school, the biggest thing was the 6th grade play. Mm-hmm. And my teacher, her name was Miss Rodich, and she picked me for Peter Pan. And I got to be Peter Pan, and I was so excited. But then I realized, like, this story that had been written 100 million whatever years ago in my mind was still being, like, lived on in that day. Yeah. And I was like, well, how do I get to do that? You know, how do I get to write these stories? And I started... My uncle had a Macintosh computer, and I just wanted to waste his paper and his time. Mm-hmm. And I would just write these stories, and my dad would read them, and then my aunts would read them, and my uncles would read them, and people would read them. And, you know, one of my older sisters, Odessa, I wrote this one story. I'll never forget it. It was called The Promise, and it got to like a certain page length, and I just let go of the idea. I was like, I'm tired of writing about this. And she told me, I will never again read your stuff until it's finished. Because she was so destroyed by the fact that she's not going to know what happened. You know, those shows that end and never come back. Yeah. So that's when I realized, like, my stories are really good. It's just a matter of giving them my all. And I wasn't willing to do that because I think if you fear in any art form that somebody's not going to like
that
it.
Vulnerability. It's deep. It runs deep. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm one of those people, I'm positive. I go for it. I fail and get up. I'm resilient. I can do all of those things. But when people talk about my writing, I'm like, it takes like a little jab to my heart. And
it's funny. All right. Because I do, like, we're going to get to the book that you wrote, but I was on Amazon and I was reading some of the comments. I was like, damn. There was some mean comments on there. Like, it wasn't even like constructive criticism for a couple of them. Just like, I hate this. It's stupid. Right. I was like, damn. Like, how did that? Like, when you talk about the criticism and.
That was probably the most shocking part of putting the book out because right when I put the book out, I got all of these accolades, and you know, people were writing articles and people were asking me questions, and I was on the radio and all of these things, all of these positive things. And then I went to Goodreads, which Goodreads is like almost like a reviewing house. And I got some good reviews or whatever, but then you have these people that are so diehard on the way outlines are supposed to be. And, you know, don't ever make a spelling mistake. How, you know, we were talking about like you asterisk and fix it. You know, they never, it was like never let up. And I remember reading the first bad review, and I called my sister, and I was like, oh my God, my book sucks. I'm just going to take it down today. And she was like,
Are you really crying?
no.
Oh, so
Yeah, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it down. And she was like, you have literally sold 1,000 copies out of your house.
Out of your house.
Yeah, and she was like, and you're worried about some one-ass person in the Midwest?
That's a hillbilly ass, nutbuck ass town.
So,
but yeah, like out of your
It hurt.
house.
Out of
Yep.
my house.
So okay,
Yeah.
elementary school, junior high, like where does it get bigger in high school, and then do you decide to go to take up writing in college?
In high school, I didn't write, and probably because of all the high school things that people just go through. But I wasn't
Penises?
no. I'm like, what? No. Just being a high school person. But in college, you know what? Please don't high school penis. No.
Oh no,
Like,
the baby.
right. It was in college. In college, I had this really great African American speech class, and I can't remember my teacher's name, but he asked me to write a story about the John Henry Clark.
Yeah, John Henry Clark.
Yeah, he asked me to write make a story about a certain chapter in there, and I wrote it. And he was like, "Miranda, this is amazing," and it felt good to write again. So
and if y'all don't know who John Henry Clark is, just please just start Googling, go on YouTube, watch him. Just go on YouTube so you can hear him speak, and his knowledge is incredible.
yes.
Like he's like a legit master teacher. He so well read. It's crazy. Go ahead.
Yes, he absolutely is. And from that point on, I started to, I wanted to write plays. And I started to write a play called 7 Perspectives. And it was 7 perspectives of each word. So if I said love, it would be your perspective of love, your perspective, you know, whoever's. Yeah, it was. And so it was really great. And it's still in a binder somewhere. But I wasn't comfortable with who I was, maturity-wise, to give my all to it. So from that point on, I just wrote all the time. And at one point, I worked for a major studio, and I was writing all the time there. But I found out like anything that I wrote there, they owned because I was on the lot. So I was like, oh, I'm not writing no more shit.
Yeah.
But
What was your job at this studio?
I worked in HR.
So.
But it doesn't matter.
No. I'm saying
Right.
so. You weren't working.
Yeah, I was working. Listen, I was working. This was my way to tell the stories that I experienced. And it wasn't until 3 years ago? Well, 2014. So 2012, I started writing Caitlin. Caitlin is my first book. And I sat down and I had an idea for another book, but this story just came to me and it like flushed out. And then like, I want to say the end of 2013, I had beta readers, which are people that are just out in the world, read it, and they thought it was good. They gave me changes, and then I said, I'm not going to do this. I was like, I can't do it. I put the book down, and I put it in my little shelf for like 2 months, and then a good friend of mine called me and sounded just like my sister and was like, so what happened at the end? Like, are we going to get the last pages? She was a reader. And she's like, are we going to be able to read the last pages? And I was like, oh, I really haven't picked it up. And, you know, I'm just kind of, you know. And she was like, are you fucking kidding me? And so I wrote the book real fast, the end, and here I am today.
And you say it came to you, the story. Did did it come to you in the span of years, or something that you had always been developing for like so long, or did it really just?
It really just came to me, and
Wow.
I write stories like that a lot. Like it literally plays off of something that I just have this deep passion for. One of my deepest passions in the world or in my life is missing children. I don't understand it, and it's something you can't wrap your brain around. I do have a daughter, but it's just something that I've never understood. How could you go missing and never be seen again, right? I mean, obviously we know all the little things around it. So Caitlin is about a girl who isn't missing, but her life is something something completely different that she lived based on something that happened in her life, right? A missing part of her life. And that has led me to where I'm at right now with a show that I've written called They're Missing. And it's about Black and brown children that are missing. There's over 264,000 cases just last year of just us as kids missing. And that speaks to my heart. It speaks to my soul. And I've entered a number of different contests. I've gotten to the second and third rounds, and it hasn't made it all the way. But I also think it's a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, because...
Can we talk about those contests, too?
The contest I did Color Creative with Issa Rae and her production company. And right now I am in the running for Lena Waith's with Eva Longoria. And it's also sitting on someone else's desk that I won't mention just because, fingers crossed. But inside of that, I had to step back and learn how to write scripts. That is a completely different world.
Yeah,
that is
that's
a
like going to
completely
film
different
school.
world.
That's what scares me.
Yeah, it should scare you because I know we have an idea that we're supposed to be working on. But you have to meet the right people who are willing to train you in that thought process because it is all show, don't tell, right? And so one of the things that I've learned the most going through this 1 year of just trying to figure stuff out is show, don't tell, show, don't tell. So now even when I'm telling stories to people, I'm always trying to show them the picture. And so I've had the opportunity to work with some amazingly awesome people. I sat in Bentley Evans' writer's room for a while. And he's done Martin. Okay. He wrote Martin, the Jamie Foxx show. And now he has Family Time.
That's Almond Brown.
Yes.
That's the one who says
Almondy. That. Bentley has taught me so much. Just to learn, no, do this, or, why is that happening? How to push the story forward, all of those things. And you literally get these pearls of wisdom that he's dropping all day. And you're just trying to soak them up. And I've recently been working with Niall Evans, and he is the executive producer for Wild 'N Out. Yeah. And just learning from him. And then there is... we've attended a number of different Issa Rae events and Amy Anyobi and all of them, and just hearing what they went through. Yeah. Just hearing.
It's the same blueprints for the most part.
Exactly. Yeah. And the unfortunate part about it is a lot of people don't talk about the middle. And the middle ground is where you learn the most. And it's also where you learn that creating your own table, as you guys have done, right here, creating your own table is the most important thing. I don't have to wait for somebody else. You guys got cameras right here. I could tell you tomorrow, hey, let's shoot this. This is my script. Let's go forward, and somebody will pick up the content. We're in that world right now where people are constantly searching for great content that's not been repurposed from somewhere else.
Oversaturated.
And we have untapped stories because the
Nobody
90s,
listening to it.
but the 90s generation is a generation of people who grew up in the middle of all of these things happening.
That's how I always felt. Exactly.
And they have
this
all these stories.
decade.
All these motherfucking influences.
Yeah.
I think about our time growing up, in the 90s, being from LA, one influence, of course, the everyday gang shit. That didn't seem like such a big deal to us, but it was such a big deal.
Yes.
It was culture.
Yes.
You had to understand this shit from street to street.
Right.
Or else you're getting your ass kicked, or you're running somewhere, or you're getting shot. You had to think about that. Then at the same time, we had some of the best sitcoms teaching us something else. Like we're like, oh, we can go to college, different world with all black people. And it's really different for us being in LA because we don't get all black all the time.
Right.
Because it's very, like there's very few communities in LA that are like all black. So you saw these colleges with all these black people, and then you saw black families like with money kicking it together. Like you knew black kids who had money, but it was always mixed with the poor kids too.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you're like,
They
oh,
hung out with
they
us.
all got money? They all doctors and lawyers and professors and like all this shit. Like, that's crazy. That's weird.
Yep.
Like, and then you had like Teen Summit.
Yes.
Like, we got a little bit of all this shit, and it created us. And we haven't really discussed none of this shit. This shit has not been put out.
No, it's not being put out. And then you have to, the other factor that is the underlying base for all of that is you have to think about the knowledge transfer within this this generation. So we went from the analog, you had encyclopedias,
Right.
you went to the library, you researched, you talked to old people, and you found out real information.
I hate them motherfucking encyclopedias. Anytime I ask my mama a motherfucking question, like, go get the encyclopedia and look it up.
The Dewey Decimal System was a real thing, and I'm
Oh
sure
my God,
librarians are loving it. The fact that we were the last generation that had to do that. Then now you have a whole generation of people who know so much but want to learn more, and we have Google now. Do not try to debate anybody from the 90s on anything, because we will go research it the right way. We may give you some bullshit ass bogus stuff because there is a lot of fake news out there. There is. We read some fake news earlier.
We did. Oh shit, we didn't even talk about that. But if I don't think you're a researcher, if I don't think you're gonna go further for the real truth, I will give you some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, they ain't gonna look this up.
My first
I do
question
that to
is,
my
where you hear
nephew.
that from?
Right.
Where you hear that from?
Yeah, no, for real, you will.
Where you hear that from?
I used to try to do that with my nephew, but it don't work with him.
No.
He'll be like, oh, okay, and then come back like a day later, like, man.
Like, you liar. I am the worst person in the world with song lyrics, and my friends will bust me out. They will be like, Miranda, you lied. That's not what it said.
It's two of y'all.
See? We're best friends. The funniest thing is people are really, really almost shocked when they ask me a lot, like, Miranda, how do you know that? And I am constantly reading, like constantly. My husband will be like, what are you doing? You playing a game on the couch? And I'm like, I'm reading the news. I feel like such an asshole when I say that, because I feel like if I don't read enough, if I don't, download enough during the day, then I'm kind of like behind. I'm behind. And so I'm constantly reading. The one thing that I do find, though, is that my love of actually enjoying books has changed, because now I'm into documentaries. I'm reading about like history things. Segue into my next project is this project that I want to write called Culture. And it's about Black influence in cults. People have forgotten a lot of it. There were 600 Black women that died in Jim Jones.
Oh,
and people don't talk about that. And the Nike situation, there were Black people there. Like what? And we tend to not think of religion, which we won't go off on those, as cultish situations, but we have participated in these things over the years, and people have forgotten.
Dude, Jim Jones shit was damn near all Black.
Yeah.
Like my mom's best friend, she lost her whole family basically. Damn. Like out in they're all from San Francisco. She lost damn near her whole family.
What was that one where you have to what they call them, Masons, or when you do the handshake and they do the little thumb in the ball of your
Oh, it is the Masons, isn't it?
Is it called Masons?
Look, man,
Like,
I don't discuss Masons.
Is that what they were called?
That's not a cult.
It's not a cult.
It's a secret society.
We can't talk about it then. Huh?
I don't know nothing about it.
They scare me.
Okay. I had an uncle who was a Mason. I had a cousin, uncle. There's a lot of them, like everyday people who you
and
talk
then
to.
You randomly get a handshake. And
they won't handshake you like that.
You remember that security guard that did that at the job? And I was like, he's not there anymore.
Nah, I think he was just rubbing your hand. I think he was just trying to rub your hand. But no, the Jim Jones thing, man, it's funny because you bring up the cult and Black folks. It makes me think, like, it makes sense because we are a people looking for a better day.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we're like,
Always.
okay, we may not get it here, but this is showing me that if I believe in this, a better day is on the way.
Right.
And that made it so easy for them to drink the juice.
Well, yes, it definitely did. It definitely did. And you think about the way that Black people have been successful over time, right? We had to stick together. And in those sticking togethers, you created societies. And so like even Michelle Obama talked about Jack and Jill. She wasn't exposed to that until she went to high school. And those things were debutante balls and all of those things. But what did it come with on the back end, right? You know, what did you have to do to participate in certain societies that people don't necessarily look at? Waco, Texas has a Black population. Well, Waco went up in flames, right? Do they ever talk about Black people that were there? No. Did Jim Jones' movie ever have a Black person in it?
Yeah. Didn't it?
I
I saw the documentary though, and it was all Black.
Right.
I didn't see a movie,
not the
but
movie.
I didn't see the movie.
Exactly.
That's so crazy that it was like mostly Black.
Right, because it was Southern.
Well, no, it wasn't. The Jim Jones thing wasn't Southern.
Well, meaning he recruited people from the South.
But a lot of those people were just from Oakland and San Francisco.
Right.
They're just from the Bay Area, and he gave them that feeling of a Southern church that they
Right.
were
Southern
used to.
charm.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, you know, it was pretty much just like your Baptist church coming in here and dance. And like when I saw what they were doing in that, like he said they used to like make the women get naked and whoop them if they needed discipline. Like,
Yeah.
it was, or I think one of them said one of the dudes got fucked.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I think one of the
gonna do
documentaries said they
research on that
fucked the
one, though.
dude in front of everybody at the church.
What?
Oh, I
Yeah.
did hear that, but I
Okay.
just didn't know if it was true.
Well,
But-
yeah.
so
I
did
mean, and the biggest thing, I mean, and the biggest introduction of that lately or into the news is the Sentinelese, right? And the reason why they are afraid of outsiders is because of someone coming in there and doing weird shit to them, and then they had to basically escape from that, save, and then they were like, nobody else is ever coming back in. So those
too.
little things,
Yeah, they were
right?
like-
Well, obviously health, yeah.
They can't even come in contact with somebody else. 'Cause
Right.
there's- They would
Right.
like all their people would die.
Right. And so you look at those situations and you do the research and you figure out the fact that we could still actually have a whole society, right, of people who have never been exposed to the things that we've been exposed to. How weird is that, right? As long as we've been around.
It's crazy.
Right. So they are dinosaurs in this world,
So,
if you
I
think
know,
about
I
it,
know,
right?
I-
They've
I-
never had a cold
Dude,
or whatever their version of a cold is. We don't know.
I couldn't stop like finding stuff to read about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so interesting, and I it wasn't my first time trying to look up information on a society like that, because I remember when they flew over the Amazon in Brazil, and the people there put on their war paint and got their spears, and they were trying to throw them at the helicopters or the planes because they're like, "What the hell is this?"
Right.
And now there's a law like, you know, we got to stay out of these areas.
Right.
Let them. And it's so surprising that these people, that the government is actually saying like, stay away from.
Yeah,
people.
like,
because
actually-
y'all, when do y'all start caring about people?
I know.
I actually think they're afraid. When you aren't exposed to something, how can you? There is the reason why they're afraid of us a lot of times.
And you're
right?
also going to look like legit pieces of shit to
If you really
everyone
fuck with somebody
for
who
going
is
over here
not
who is not
they're
doing
not
shit to
developed
you.
in that way.
Right.
You know?
They over there fucking with your little bread, bro. They got their stuff because you crashed. Don't come over on their island. Leave them alone.
And I still don't understand the forcing of religion on people. Like that dude went over there to push religion on some folks.
He met Jesus before them.
I do want to ask, like, how did you get into the stuff that you're doing now? Because I mean, you're a friend of mine. I've seen, I don't even know because I watched your Instagram one day, and next thing you know, you're in writing rooms and shit. I'm like, what? Did she
Where was
quit
the
her-
middle ground?
I'm like, you quit? You quit your job and shit? What the fuck are you doing?
I honestly had to take a chance on myself. And it came down to I wanted to write stories, and I wanted to write stories that were told. And when I entered the Issa Rae Color Creative contest, it was my first try at writing a script, and I did it all wrong, and I still got chosen, to go to the second round. But the biggest thing was, I know I tell good stories.
For sure.
I know I do. I know I'm good at what I do. Now, is there a art to the craft? Absolutely. Am I responsible for learning that art and learning those rules and all of that? Absolutely. And so I had no choice, but I'm not going to pretend like I don't know a lot of people in this world, right? I know a lot of people, but I'm not going to go begging anybody to give me a chance unless I'm willing to do the work. Right? Yeah. And so that's what I did. I had to do the work. I had to learn. I had to read a lot. I had to try a lot. I had to fail a lot. I had to ask a lot. I had to step outside of my pride and do things that I wouldn't normally do just to get to where I am. But I was lucky that obviously I have a supportive husband. I have a supportive family. And I also have like a team of people who are just like rooting for me. They're seriously rooting for me. Like, oh my God, we want to see you. We want to see you win.
I have to say, you do. Like, I always tell people, if you have a problem with Miranda, something's wrong with you. Like, straight up, if you have issues with her, there is something wrong with you. Because if you have issues with me, I get it. Right. Like, I get it. I can be a piece of shit at times. I'm not the nicest, but you always inviting and, hey, what do you need? You need something to drink? Like, meet everybody. Hey, this is such and such. Like, we ain't shit. Just kick it. Like, for real, you make everybody feel at home. Like, so you deserve all the positive energy that's coming your way. And also, you brought up your husband. I want you to bring up this sweatshirt.
My husband has a sweatshirt and T-shirt line and everything else called Black Nomad, and it's basically about Black people who travel. And there is no one home for us. There is no one home for us. We get to travel the world. We get to live around the world. We've created the world. We set the trends in the world. So that's what his company promotes.
We jumping on planes in this bed.
So where we find it though? It's
on Etsy, and it's Black Nomad, BLCKNOMAD, and you can find it on Instagram, Etsy, Shopify.
How long you been married?
I've been married for babe. How long we been married? Dang, son. 9 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months.
Y'all like little
like 20 years.
The wedding was so much fun. And how long y'all been knowing each other?
We've known each other since 1988.
Damn, 98, 88, baby.
Yeah, he was my crush. He used to buy me orange juice all the time. That's probably why I don't drink orange juice anymore. But
I need people to hear this story. This is a cool story.
He was my like really good best friend in elementary school. And then in 5th grade, he moved away to Moreno Valley, and I never saw him again for 30 years.
Damn.
30 years. And he took a chance on Facebook and hit me up. I didn't know who he was. I was like, I don't know him. It said, right? Like, and then, so he sent me a message like, hey, just gonna ignore my shit. And I was in the middle of like some craziness in my life. So we started just talking as friends, and it just instantly hit like as if I had seen him yesterday. No time was missed. And the funniest thing is when we finally went out to dinner, it was just dinner. Hey, let's have dinner. He said to himself, if she's anything like she was back in the day, it's on and cracking. And I'm thinking like, is he short?
Hey, motherfuckers do stop growing and shit.
But the funniest thing is we were on the phone for like the minute he Facebooked me to the minute we had dinner, we stayed on the phone, talking, catching up, laughing, blah, blah, blah. And then we got married in a secret wedding that 200 people showed up to. And we got lit.
I knew that shit was a wedding.
No, you
I
didn't.
did. I promise you. I was like, yo, they getting married, huh? As soon as I was like, it's a wedding. They're like, shut up, Joe.
You still have fun.
That's
Oh,
so
for sure,
dope. So
for sure.
so guests came. So guests.
We
did
thought it was an
arrive.
engagement party. I was
thought
like,
it was an
and I was like, who
engagement
throws
party.
an engagement party like this? This is extra.
It's awesome.
Yes, it was awesome.
Nah, man, it's so
30
beautiful, and it's so
years.
like
It's
they
crazy.
they were clowning me the other day because it was a post with them two on Instagram,
Yeah.
and she's just looking at him, and I was like, yo, man. And I was a little emotional when I made the comment. I was just saying, like, yo, I believe in your love, man. This is some real shit. Like, and it is. Like, it's not, like, everybody can see it. It's
Okay.
not no...
But that was meant for you, for that to be brought
Yeah.
back into your life
Dude.
30
Yeah.
years later.
And Roland is such a good dude. Like, because I've met a lot of people's, like, spouses. I'm like, this shit ain't gonna last. Like, this motherfucker is not
some
going
of those.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? You know this is not gonna work. Like, he's a piece of shit. Like, you literally, they get married, and an hour later, you see him like shooting shots at a chick at the wedding. I'm like, this motherfucker's trying to holler at somebody right now. Dang,
Right.
man, this is what it's about. And that kind of puts, like, that's crazy. Or the wife started giving you the eye. You like, this motherfucker just got married. What is she looking over here for?
She got to shoot that shot sometime.
Man, this is crazy, man. Shoot, man. Is there any other questions you want to get?
I don't know. I'm just fascinated. I'm just
Nah,
in
this
awe
is
over here.
dope.
Like,
I'm so excited. Like, all right,
Yeah.
as like, what's up right now? Like, what's up like next for you?
Next is I mean, for 2019, I want to shoot some of my content. And one of the biggest things that I do want to do is I work with, I have a writing partner. Her name is Kyra Talise, and she and I have created some projects together that people have asked us to do. And then we also have some stuff that we've done together. And we plan to produce it and start just rocking the world with it. And I mean, you know, we even have an idea that we're working on that hopefully blows up, especially because we have a awesome ass story to tell. So
and you trying to get more into like just
Our stories
film,
would be amazing.
television.
yeah, film,
Start-
television. I've written documentary treatments,
Oh,
you know,
shit.
all of those things. But my second hand that I would love to do that I didn't even know I had an interest in is directing.
Yes. Usually, yeah. I was, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love
Writers.
directing. Yes.
Mhm.
And writing even takes a lot of direction.
It does.
So, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to rock this shit till I can.
Man, I'm so excited for everything you got going on, man. Hey, before we go, I do want to give a shout out to my boy Marcus, man. He has a new podcast called Hold Up, We Need to Talk. And you can go there, follow him on Instagram, Hold Up, We Need to Talk. It's spelled exactly the way it's supposed to be spelled. So, and they're on SoundCloud right now. If you go to the Instagram, you can click on the link. I'm not sure if they're on iTunes yet, but they're definitely on SoundCloud. He's always been showing mad love, so I got to show it back. And it's actually a really good podcast.
And follow me on Instagram. It's IM_Miranda Bowden.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
That
I'm
was
glad to be here.
That nourished my soul. Yeah, I feel good after that.
And there was something I want to talk about, but I don't even remember.
So excited.
Nah, that's a lot. That's a heavy one.
Okay.
So we're going to have to,
Say
like,
that
that'll be another fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And this is already longer than a motherfucker.
Right.
But it's quality. It's some good shit, man. I was rolling over there like, okay, wrap this shit up.
Right.
I'm
He's
sleepy.
like, I'm hungry.
This shit, what time is it? It's 8:45. It's my motherfucking
8:45.
bedtime.
Hey.
I go to sleep around here. I've been sleeping 8 o'clock.
Look,
Look, 2 days this week, I've been asleep by 8 o'clock.
you an old ass man.
Man, I've been up at 4:30 getting this workout in. The pectacles is looking right.
Pectorals?
The pectacles.
Tough.
All right, man.
All right.
Shit. Well, that's it. Holla.
Holla.